No way.
You have got to be shitting me.
What?
It can't be.
This is...
I'm guessing this is Building Q. And Building Q, that was another big hint. Yep, this is Building Q. Oh, gosh. This whole time. Building Q in the Nevada
This is the
desert.
building in the Nevada desert.
the mock experiment building.
Oh my god. This whole time we were in Building Q.
Sure enough. That's a desert out there, with mountains all around it. Hello there, son. Boy, am I ever glad to see you. Don't think I've ever been so happy to see a sunrise. Huh? Did I just hear something fall? Oh, they are free. Right, our bracelets. Guess I've never really got a good look at the underside of one of these. Let's see what's inside you. Just a little electronic chip, like in an ATM card. That's it. There's nothing else. Nothing that even looks like a detonator. There was never a detonator to begin with. Wasn't there? What about the ninth man? And the guy that died that looked like a snake to Ace.
Akane.
Jumpy.
Guess I must be pretty crazy about the girl if I think I'm hearing her voice in the wind. But there you have it, guys. 999. 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. The first in the Zero Escape series. For those of you who have been here since the beginning and have watched the whole thing, I'm guessing now you understand why I think this is such an amazing experience. I'm not gonna say this game, because believe it or not, guys, Virtue's Last Reward, the sequel, is even better. It really is. I honestly enjoyed... The story may have been a tiny bit better in this one comparatively, but the gameplay and the concepts do change. They do change. The gameplay a tiny bit. It's still escape rooms, but the concepts, the philosophies, all of that stuff are changed a little bit. They definitely are. Oh, are we going to have more? Yeah, I knew there was more.
Are you okay?
Oh, come on. This is nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't look okay.
It was just before the end of elementary school. Jumpy and I were sitting next to each other on a small hill, looking down at the town as the sun slowly set.
How does it look then?
He was half serious and half joking. I thought about it for a minute first.
Well, let's see. It looks like you kissed a toad and got warts, but then they just kept growing and growing and growing.
What does that even mean?
Junpei grinned and...
Ow, 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 ow.
See? I told you you're not okay. You're too reckless.
You kind of are, Junpei. Not gonna lie, and you get worse in your adulthood.
You can't beat 5 8th graders, Jumpy. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I couldn't just stand there. I mean, don't you think so? I had to do something.
Yeah, this is what I was waiting for. Look at the Nevada desert go past. So there was a car just sitting there? For an SUV, this thing is a pretty smooth ride. Sure was nice of someone to leave it for us outside the building. Keys in the ignition and gas in the tank. Almost like it was a present, you know? Anyway, we jumped in, and now here we are, screaming across the desert. Lotus is over there in the passenger seat. Snake and Seven and I are all squeezed into the back seat here. I still can't believe we let her drive.
Woohoo! This is so fun! This is so awesome! Driving is so great when there's nothing around, and there's no speed limit.
Hey, Clover, watch those bumps, all right? This car jumps even a little, and I think I'm gonna get crushed to death.
Hey, shut it. I can't help if I'm big, all right? Suck it up.
Why don't you drive, Seven?
I'm a cop. I ain't gonna break the law.
He doesn't have an international license.
Yeah, but you could have sat in the passenger seat.
Oh, hell no. There's no way I'm giving this seat up. And Clover, there's no need to slow down. The car Santa and June are in should be somewhere down this road ahead of us.
Yeah, I saw some fresh tire tracks going out. There's no doubt about it.
Then we've got to hurry if we want to catch them, don't we?
Sure thing.
Oh, shit! God damn it, she doesn't have to drive so fast. Man, I didn't even think a car like this could go this fast. We're sure throwing up a lot of dust. It was a couple hours after we'd run into the junior high students. They'd been hiding in the bushes on the back of one of the hills, drenching a kitten in gasoline. The moment we saw what they were doing, Jumpy ran up to them, furious.
Hey! What the hell are you doing?
Then he jumped on them. He quickly scooped up the kitten and tossed it to me. I caught it and ran for the police station as fast as I could.
Help me! Officer, please! You have to come with me!
The policeman and I headed back to the hill. All we found was Jumpy, sprawled on the ground with a face covered in big swelling lumps.
You couldn't run away after you threw the kitty to me?
He stuck his tongue out through the hole in his mouth where a tooth had fallen out.
Yeah, I guess I coulda.
Then why didn't you?
I didn't want to. I wanted to beat him up. Beat him up real good.
Because of what they were doing to the kitty.
Yeah, that too, but I think they were the ones behind those murders our first semester. Remember?
Oh, you mean the bunnies.
Yeah, the bunnies.
He plucked some grass from the ground and tossed it into the wind.
They asked me what elementary school I was from, so I told them. And then they said they'd do the same thing to you that they did to the rabbits. I couldn't forgive them for that. So I...
Hey, there's still some stuff I don't get.
Some stuff? Of course, they probably don't know any more than I do.
Like Ace. Well, guess I should say Kentaro Hongo. Why did he create the Nonary Project? Anybody? Any ideas?
To control people. To see if he could control their will.
Why don't you ask him yourself?
Well, yeah, I guess I could.
He's still in the trunk, I assume?
He's in the trunk. Still tied up, I'm assuming, with his mouth taped shut. His eyes just look empty. No emotion. He looks like he's just given up. I wonder if he even cares what happens to him anymore.
Hey, were you listening to us?
Yeah, go ahead and try to pretend you weren't, you old bastard. Let's get that tape off your mouth.
Come on, I know you were. Answer me.
I only wanted to see the faces. Human faces. I thought if I could gain the ability to access the morphic field set, then perhaps I could see faces.
So that's what this was about? The whole time. It's actually kind of sad, but, you know, his actions have pretty much removed any pity I have.
By peering into people's minds, you could understand how they were processing the expressions of others.
That's it?
Yes, if you want to put it simply. But if you are looking for a more philosophical answer, I could supply that as well.
Go ahead, we've got quite a car ride here.
You see, the human collective consciousness...
I think that's enough out of you, pal. I actually wanted to listen to that. Screw you.
All right. So what's your second question?
You said there were some things you didn't get, didn't you?
Well, somebody's a little nosy.
Well, my next question doesn't really have anything to do with you two. This is for you, Seven. It's about the whole Alice thing. What's the deal with that?
Well, you see, 9 years ago, after I escaped from the Gigantic, I kept going after Hongo on my own, hoping I'd catch him when he finally slipped up. And during the course of my investigations, I learned a lot more about the Gigantic. I also found out about Gordain and Alice.
You're not really answering my question. Was there actually a girl who wouldn't melt at room temperature?
Sounds like Hongo has something to say. Alright, fine, I'll let you talk, but you gotta behave.
What?
Alice doesn't exist. 9 years ago, I found Alice's coffin behind the library on the bottom deck. There was nothing in it but the root of a peculiar plant. My research determined
That's a
that it was
mandrake.
member of the genus Mandragora, of the family Solanaceae.
That's a mandrake root.
I was able to extract a particular alkaloid from it. I used that extract to create Soparil.
Soparil beta.
Its creation was a tremendous boon to my firm, and we grew rapidly.
Shit, this is gonna go on forever. So that's where he got his money and his start. Tape's going back on, Hongo. The rest of my questions can wait a bit. For now, I think I'll just enjoy the ride.
Here, this is for you.
What's this?
This is, for you, doll. His name is Junpei.
So this was before. Jumpy pulled something out of his pocket and shoved out his arm toward me. In his hand was a doll made of yarn small enough to fit in his palm.
Chumpy, are you sure it's, for you, doll?
Huh? Yeah, the lady at the shop said so, so that means it's for you, right?
Are you sure it's not a voodoo doll?
Wait, what? That's... Oh, man. Oh, man.
Well, it sure looks like a voodoo doll. I mean, you do know what a voodoo doll is used for, right?
Yeah, I guess calling it Junpei isn't a very good idea then.
Why are you giving me this anyway? It just seems really sudden.
Well, you know how after June, we aren't gonna get to see each other too much?
June.
I mean, we're gonna be in different schools, and I just thought I'd,
Oh, okay, well, how about we call it June then?
Okay. So, I wanted to give you this.
You sound like some sort of tribal chief in a bad movie.
Yes. I, head of tribe. This doll, traditional charm of tribe. So I give this, it me. So we always together.
Oh, this is too cute to live.
Oh, Jumpy.
If something bad, then hold and pray. I go wherever you are. So here, take.
Getting a real to the moon vibe here, guys. Not gonna lie. I reached my hand out and picked up the doll gently.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jumpy.
Before I knew it, I was crying. Tears streamed down my face and fell onto June's tiny yarn body.
Oh, Jumpy. I'll never forget you. I promise.
Jumpy looked straight into my eyes and said just 5 words.
I'll never forget you either.
The sky was a beautiful crimson red as it melted down toward the horizon. The last golden rays of sunlight stretched out across the city and painted themselves across the hills. We sat, bathed in the warm light of evening. Just the two of us, leaning gently against one another, shoulder to shoulder. The sun set and we still didn't leave. We watched in silence as the darkness deepened, and one by one the lights of the town began to flicker on. There's still one thing I don't get. To be honest, it's the biggest mystery as far as I'm concerned, and also the only one that's really important. It has to do with June and Akane. 9 years ago, she died in the incinerator on the Gigantic. But she's still alive now, as June. But how? Was it because I tapped into the Morphic field set and saved her 9 years ago? Alright, let's say that makes some kind of insane sense. If I did that, then how do I make sense of what Seven remembers? Snake makes sense. He's blind. He couldn't have seen her body anyway. But Seven, he said he was sure he saw it. Does that mean there's some kind of historical discrepancy? Or, wait, maybe that's not it at all. There is one other logical explanation. Was what you told me the truth, Seven? You look satisfied. No way. He couldn't.
Hey, look! Over there! There's somebody body next to the road.
What?
Hello! Beautiful. Is that Alice? Is that supposed to be Alice? The burning gaze of the Nevada sun pounded down on her head. The desert around her rippled with heat. Standing there on that shimmering plain was a woman, her arm out and her thumb up. Don't forget your towel. Wow. Sure, why not? Yep, and now you can see all the endings, guys. Yep. So this is the true end. Okay. Okay, now I can finally wrap up, talk a little bit about the game. Once again, guys, this is 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. This is the first in the Zero Escape trilogy. Now, a little bit of history on this one. The original game, I believe it was probably closer to 2006 or 2007, maybe, over in Japan. And it was made for the DS, the Nintendo DS originally. Now, the response to it was so great that they pretty much knew they had to make a sequel. So, they created Virtue's Last Reward, which is what I will be immediately starting upon next. But I will be honest, I might be interrupted in that a little bit as soon as Ultra Despair Girls comes out, because I know how much you guys love the Danganronpa series, and you want more, and I'm going to give it to you, believe me. But I cannot tell you guys how much I love this series. Now, as I started to say in the other part, this game itself is not in my top 10 games of all time. I would say the series is, because like I said, believe it or not, I like the second one better than the first. Yet at the time when I first played this, the first game was easily the greatest writing I have ever seen. Oh, it's gonna play this stupid intro. Sorry. This first game was easily the greatest, most complicated, most clever writing in a story I have ever seen at that time. Now, again, my hat is off to the people who originally wrote this and created this, because it's perfect. Like, I have zero problems with the writing. The only issue I had was with the paradox of Akane being alive versus Akane not being alive. Which kind of... I didn't like what they did at the end there, where it makes it seem as if Seven was lying that the girl had died, because he wasn't the only one who said that. Santa was the one who said that. Another interesting thing is that Santa looked bigger as a kid than he did as an adult, which is kind of funny. But I would say in the first game, when I really figured out it was Santa and June working together, like, I'm not going to lie, guys, this obviously isn't the first time I played the game. I've tried to recreate my experience when I first played the game, because I could not believe how clever this all was. And the concept of multiple universes, parallel dimensions, heck, even time travel, which the second game will talk about a lot more than this one, by the way. But it was integrated into the actual game just in such a genius fashion. Now, we have all been conditioned and trained, for those of us who play games, to replay games, right? In order to do different choices, try to find different endings. There are tons of games with different and multiple endings. But never have I seen a game so seamlessly integrate the idea of you have to play through all of these paths in order to be able to reach the final hidden ending. And the second game goes much more into detail, because you guys thought, how many endings were there? 6? You guys thought 6 endings was a lot? Try about 30 endings in the next game. But I don't want to give away too much of the game. Now, I will play the entire series. The first 2, 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. Then Virtue's Last Reward. And then, due to popular demand, like the series was done after 2, but people both in Japan and in the US alike demanded an ending to the trilogy, which is Zero Time Dilemma. Now I have my issues with the third game. I have a lot of issues with the third game, but I will still play it just so you guys can get the full experience. Now guys, I am begging you, if you enjoyed this game, play the second game, because it's probably the best of the entire series. It was for the Nintendo 3DS. And what they started to do in this game, they perfected in the second game. It's got lots of twists and turns, and if you thought the idea of who you could trust and who you wanted to ally yourself with in this game was cool, wait till you see what happens in the second game. I will tease you with simply this: The Prisoner's Dilemma. That's all I'll say. But once again, guys, thank you everyone for continuing to support the channel, continuing to help it grow. We are now on the inevitable path to 500 subscribers, which just blows my mind that I can both manage a job that is beginning to prove to me everything that it was promised, and beginning to give me access to things that I never dreamed possible. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out my Twitter over the last month or so. I'm getting a taste, guys. I'm getting a taste of what this career can provide for me, and it means incredible things for the channel. It absolutely does. And it means incredible things for me in my life. Like, I don't say this to brag, guys, but, you know, for those of you who've been here since the beginning, and those of you who are, you know who you are. I am in a place in my life now where it's as if my life has finally begun. It truly has, and I am beginning to understand what I should have seen from the beginning. I really should have just gotten over myself and seen from the very beginning, but at least now it's happening. And so I am blessed to be able to continue to do great things both in my career and to be able to continue this, what started as a hobby and distraction, to becoming something that I really want to continue for as long as I can and as long as I can continue to game. So, the fact that you all are joining me on this adventure and this journey humbles me. And it makes me want to do better, and it makes me want to do more. But for now, all I can do is what I can do. But there's lots of great things coming, guys. Lots of great games, lots of great things other than that. What will come next is, of course, Virtue's Last Reward, Zero Escape. But in the meanwhile, guys, if you enjoyed what you saw, please share it. The only way that the channel is really going to grow is if you share the videos. I know it sounds like I'm e-begging when I'm doing this, but please, if you like what you saw, show somebody else. Share it on your social network. We have a great budding community here, and I think, now I'm not saying we're going to become the next YouTube superstar together, guys, but we have enough people now that we can actually start to make a difference. You know, I have my own ideas for how I want to do the next series, but I also have plans for a celebratory event for the 500 subscriber break, or for the 500th subscriber. Oh, God damn it. For the 500th subscriber milestone. That's about all I'll say. Good times are coming, guys. But in the meanwhile, my name is Kronos006. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am enjoying bringing it to you. But I must be signing off for now. Take care.